And welcome everybody. Let's see if I can spotlight my video. There we go. I wanted to be on with you tonight and share some thoughts and some things we got on as an MVP team the other day with our absolutely wonderful upline Phoebe Fournier and Barb Armstrong and Pam Palmer and myself, and we planned out our next 12-week session. And I was excited to share some thoughts tonight with you. And so I grabbed the first week and we changed it to sponsoring. And I wanted the focus tonight to be on sponsoring of consultants, independent consultants, business partners. I want you to think about that. You know, I think sometimes we have had such a focus on sponsoring PCs over the last year, 2 years, that's what we've gotten. We've been able to sponsor PCs like crazy, but we really need to also be focusing on sponsoring independent consultants, because that's how you build a team. We love our preferred clients, but we do need to build a team, to build consultants, to build legs, to build partners, so that we can promote to the next levels in our bond. So that's what I wanted to chat with you tonight. I wanted to take through, I've been doing some really awesome training with different experts in our industry who are really good at sponsoring and building teams. And I wanted to show you tonight and work this through with you, what you would do. Okay, let me see if I can get this over here. Okay, is that good? Am I showing you the page? Okay. I wanted to go through with you with an absolute flow chart of how to meet somebody and take them to the decision of doing the business with you. And I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to make some bold thoughts to you tonight. And I want to just take you through this, find, add, message. And so much of how we build our business today is off of Messenger. That's how I feel like I live on Messenger every day, for making connections, meeting prospects, talking to people, sponsoring them. And so we really want to get good at finding, adding people, and then adding them to our connections, and then getting really good at messaging them. So I'm going to go through and talk about this. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm going to be looking at some notes as I go along so I don't forget anything that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. But first I want to talk to you about kind of a formula of how you connect with people, because eventually we all run out of people that we know, don't we? Eventually we have to start making connections with people we don't know. And so that's what we do on Facebook. That's what we do on Instagram. Some people love to do make connections on Twitter, different ways of doing things. But there is a formula. And so the formula, if you can look at the top of this, where it says, hey, first name plus enticing first sentence and why you're messaging them. So it really is, if you can think of it this way, let's use the name tonight of Jen. So you could say, hi, Jen, and then you enter the reason why you thought of them. Hey, I noticed that we're both really into Zumba, or I noticed that you also love to watercolor, or I noticed that we both are from Stockton, California. How's, and then you just do a really simple phrase. And I learned this really simple phrase from a guy in our industry called Fraser Brooks, and it really works. And I know for people who are English graduates, this is going to drive them crazy because it's one of those shortened things. But sometimes when we use things that don't sound so formal, it works better. So you can say, hi, Jen. I noticed that we're both from Stockton, California, and I thought it would be fun to connect. How's things? And it's amazing what that simple little thing really works. How's things? Just real casual. It's so important to mention their name. And every single time, I want you to get into the habit of every time you message someone that you want to build a relationship with or further a relationship, I want you to end every single time you make, you message them, I want you to end it with a question. Okay, how's things? So that is the formula. So let's say that we have found somebody, we've been going back and forth, and we've been talking to them a little bit, and we want to keep furthering that relationship. I want to go through with this formula. I'm going to post this flow chart. It's going to be posted. It's also going to be in our team website on Success Line Support. There we go. And so it's going to be there. So let's say that you message somebody and you say, how's things? And they come back. Now there's two things that you can do with them. You could start with a formula. Sometimes people call it form. Sometimes they call it LORD, L-O-R-D, which is location, occupation, recreation, and dreams and desires. So, or you can directly ask them the question of, where, if they'd be interested. But if you can start and you have that conscious commenting where you're asking them questions, building a relationship up, one of the things that you can really do is start with location. Location is one of those really low-key kind of thing. It's funny, we can go to England, and if we meet somebody from the US, and if we meet somebody that's from our same state or our same city, it's funny how fast we can connect with someone because we're from the same place. So that's one of the easy ways to connect with people. Then you can, recreation is super, super easy. People like to tell you what they do. So one of the questions you can ask somebody is, do you get up too much during the weekends? Oh, I try to do a little. I like to bike or go for a walk, or I really like to golf. I don't get to do as much as I want to. So that is really one of the key questions. Do you get up too much during the weekends? It's not too personal. You're just asking them, what do they like to do? What is it you do in your spare time? I saw in one of your photos that you were on the golf course. You get to play much? I saw that you're in one of your photos that you were hiking. You get to do much? Get to hike much? So those are all really great questions to ask someone from the R part of this, the recreation. So basically here, you're just wanting to find out if they get much spare time. That's the whole key. Do they get much spare time and how they spend it? If you have a hobby in common, then the conversation will really flow. So if you find somebody that is into hiking and you're into hiking, then the conversation is going to really flow between the two of you. So this is an area, and it's a really great place to kind of dig, because you can find pain points. You can find that they would really love to be able to golf, but they never get on the course. You could find that they're really to doing pottery, but they don't have time to be able to do it. You can really leverage that later on when you find out what it is that they really like to do, but they don't get to do enough of. So that's a great way to do that. So when you've started to build that relationship and you're starting to do that, then you can get to the point where you're going to ask them a question about, are they open?
Yes.
Whoops. If you haven't muted out your lines, will you please mute out your lines? Let's see if I can mute. I mean, mute all. There we go. Okay. So let's see, where was I at? You want to find out okay, now what if they didn't reply? What if you've been asking them some questions and they don't respond back? If they don't respond back, go in and go look at their last 4 posts and make some comments. If it's someone you're really interested in pursuing and building a relationship with them, go back and engage. And then ask them a question again. No reply still, then you say next and you move on. But let's say we're asking them questions, we're starting to build a little bit of rapport, relationship there. Now you're going to ask them the just curious question. You're going to ask them after a break in the communication, and I think it's really good to kind of ask them questions, talk to them, and then let the weekend go over. And you could ask them, what did you do? Hey, Jen, how's things? Have a good weekend. And then after they come back and say, yeah, it was okay. It was okay. This is when you can come back and ask them a serious question about taking a look at what it is that you do. So you could ask them, let's see if I can find my notes here. Jen, just curious, would you be open to checking out some more information? And you could put in here anything that you want to put in. So if you look at on the flow chart where it says just curious, this is where you're going to ask them. Just checking out some more information on how to have more time to golf, to be able to fire your boss. So if they've been mentioning that, they're not, I work too much, I'm not in love with what, I'm just not loving my job, spend more time with your kids. They're talking about that they're working, it's hard, I have to be away from my kids too much. Maybe they look like they just would love, how about if you ask them on how to have better life balance? How about asking them how to make money on Instagram or on social media, or by leveraging social media? So here's where you're going to put in what it is that you would like them to remember, you're creating curiosity. You're not all over them, you're creating curiosity. Now, if they reply with a now answer to this response, if they don't say anything after you've asked them that question, but you felt like you were kind of building up some rapport before you ask them that question, you can come back and say, hey, no worries, Jen, got much planned for the rest of the week? And that's one of the things you can do, and then you can come back, because maybe you caught them at a bad moment. Maybe you caught them when life got really hectic. That's always a good question to ask these people, these kind of questions at the beginning of the week, because people have more stress on Monday when they have to go back to work. It's when people have more heart attacks because they get that sick feeling in the pit of their stomach on Sunday nights. So it's a good time to ask them those kind of direct questions. Would you be open to checking out more information? on an exciting way to make money on social media. I mean, isn't that what we're all doing today? We really are doing our business virtually. So are we making money on social media? Yeah, you bet. No worries if not, just thought I would ask. So you always want to put that kind of disclaimer. No worries if not, just thought I would ask. So that is your just curious question, all right? So now if they say, sure, yeah, then if they ask you a question, what is it? That's one of the questions that you might get asked. One of the things you want to do is come back and immediately say, well, it's a visual thing. When do you have 15 minutes to take out of your life to potentially have life balance for the rest of your life? Now, this question is really incredible because it makes people think. And, you know, to say, yeah, no, I don't have 15 minutes to look at something so I can have life balance for the rest of my life. No, I don't want to look at that. So that's a good question to ask. Now, if they say, well, tonight after work, and you can say what time would be good. 8:30. So if they give you a time, then you're going to move forward. If they ghost you, where they said yes before, but when you asked them what time, they ghost you by not, by disappearing and not replying, then you can come back with, Jen, you went quiet on me, maybe you're not interested, or the timing is wrong right now. But if you would let me know, I'd appreciate it. And it's amazing how people, it pulls out that kind of politeness of coming back and responding back to you. So it's really important that you, if you don't hear from them after they told you yes and you asked them what time, just come back and say that. And they'll come back and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I got busy, I got crazy, oh, and they'll give you a time. So let's say they give you the time, 9 p.m. tonight. So at that time that they said that they could look at it, you're going to send them the link and you're going to ask them, are you ready? Are you ready to take a look at this? If I sent you the link right now. Because if you just send a video, here's what I see all the time. When people just say, if I sent you a video, would you take a look at it? It kind of like goes out into the nebulous Netherlands, and it doesn't get watched because there's no consequences. But when they told you 9 p.m., you say, okay, I'll send you the link at 9 p.m. And then at 5 minutes to 9, you ask them, are you ready? And they say yes. Great. Now here's that next little box. Great. I'm going to send you a link to more info. It takes about, so how long the video you're going to send them, you want the video to be the one thing that's going to intrigue them. So it takes about 5 minutes. It takes about 7 minutes. Whatever the length of the video is, you're going to put that in there. You'll be done by 12 after 9. I'll contact you then. Now here's a magic phrase. Does that sound fair? Now, what do you think you get as a response when you ask somebody, does that sound fair? What are they going to say? They're going to say yes. Does that sound fair? People always say yes to that. So, okay, you send them the video. So you send the link to the video for them to watch. So that's where we're at on as we're going down the flow chart. Send link to tool. And I like to send a video. And when they're done watching the video, and this is the reason why I want you, I'm changing things up, because of coaching and working with so many of you. I kind of see what's working and what's not working. And by tightening up from the time you have them watch the video to the follow-up time, it's going to be so much better. And I can't think of the guy's name. Phoebe will know who I'm talking about. But when we used to ask people on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your interest right now? He said, I've never seen people who have more hanging 7s out there in the world than Arbonne consultants. And so that's why I'm changing up how you're doing this, because the tighter and the more you respect yourself and your time and your commitment to your business, the more they're going to respect you. And it's all about posture. So when you say, hey, I'll be finished at 9:15, so we'll connect then. So now you have to decide if you're going to connect by a Zoom call, a FaceTime call, a messenger call where it's an audio call, or texting. So if you looked at those, what's going to be the most effective? Zoom, because we're not really doing in person right now. So Zoom's number 1, FaceTime, then the audio call. Texting is the least effective. So the one I want you to do, the absolute at the bottom of the list. So no matter what, don't start with texting. Start with the other ones first. Why don't we connect on FaceTime at 9:15? And I like to say, I'm sure you're going to have some questions for me. And so I reconnect with them at 9:15. So now what are you going to ask? Don't ever ask, what did you think? Because when you ask, what did you think? You go into the critical part of their brain, and they really believe it's their job to criticize or critique what they watched. But if you ask them, what did you like? What did you like best? They're going to go in and then keep asking them, what else did you like? And they'll tell you. So we, asked a gal the other day, just, I really liked that. It just seemed like you're so into gut health and overall health and wellness and the whole body. And so that was really important to them. I always really liked that you were into quality ingredients. And so just ask them, what did they like best? Now, you're going to answer their questions and only talk about what they bring up. So I always say to them, is there anything you would like to know that would help you make a good decision today? And so talk to them about what's important to them. And don't bring anything else up. This is not the time to do a presentation about Arbonne. You're only going to bring up what they bring up. Say, so what do you need to know to make a good decision? Well, how would I get started? Or, I don't see myself, I'm not super out there on social media. How would I build this? Only talk about what's important to them and answer their questions. How would I get started? How much would it cost? Whatever those questions are. Now, if you feel like right then that you don't know what their questions they're asking you, it's really crazy, but I'm going to tell you to do something really crazy. You can then invite them to get on a three-way call or a three-way messenger group. But one of the things you can do right then is see if your sponsor, your manager, your area, or your VP is available. And sometimes it can just be a cross-line friend or buddy, but three-way someone in to chat with you. Say, hey, you know what? Let's see if my friend or my mentor is in their office or if they're available on their phone. You'll be amazed. Just having 3 people on a call instead of 2 people on a call, your ratio of sponsoring is going to go way up. So you're going to see if you feel like they need more information that you can't offer to them, don't try to be the expert. Just say, I would really like you to meet my mentor, my manager, my area, my VP, whoever it is. They've been in for a while. They have a lot of the same experiences that you have in your life. I would really love to have you meet them. I'll see if they're available tomorrow or later on this evening that they could do a call with you. So if you need them, make sure that you take advantage of that. 3-way calls, 3-way messenger chats are so effective for helping you sponsor. Your ratio of sponsoring is going to go up. So now this is where I'm going to get really bold. I'm going to tell you that there's so many times in my career that people have not had to try the product to be able to make a decision to sponsor. Because I want you to think about, we used to ask people, when I came into Arbonne, it was $150 to sign up. And then I bought my action kits for $1,700. Even 2 years ago, we were asking people to come in for a $1,700 order or a $2,500 order. We really don't ask people for that. In most, in the US, if you think about it, they're going to get if they come in, what we're asking them to do is come in with products they're going to use for themselves and a very inexpensive startup fee. And with that, they're going to get marketing and they're going to get research and development and shipping. They're going to get customer support. They're going to get a website. They're going to get a lot. So this isn't a $1 million decision. This is less than a trip to Costco for them to get started and being able to make money next Tuesday. So don't feel like this is a decision that people are going to have to ponder for a week or 2 weeks and talk. This is a decision they can make very quickly. Get started today. All you need to do is sign up, open up your account, and order the products that you're going to use for yourself. This is your discovery period. Let's get started. I'm going to ask you to be more bold and ask people to make a decision because it's not a $1 million decision. So what you're going to talk about is what they need to know in order to get started today. Okay? So that's what I want you to ask. Is there anything else you need to know right now in order to get started today? Now, if they say yes, then you say yes. What is it? What can I help you with? And then you go back and you answer that question or that hesitation. You don't bring up anything else. This isn't the time to bring up anything else. You just talk to them about what information they need to know. Now, what if at that point you ask them if they're ready to get started and they say, you know what, this just isn't for me. And they say, no, I just really think, no, this isn't it. So then I want you to come back and I want you to say to them that, no worries, Jen. Would you be cool with me keeping you posted on my progress? No worries. Would you be cool with me keeping you posted on my progress? Now I have to tell you, I can't tell you how many people have signed up over the years because that person who tried to sponsor them and they said no to kept dripping on them. And they keep dripping on them the progress. So every couple of months, you come back and you ask them, you tell them about what's going on. Since we last chatted, I earned $2,000. I paid off my credit card. I know we were talking and you said, gosh, you wanted to travel more. And you know what? I won an incentive to the Bahamas. How crazy is that? But it's not about me, it's about you. Are you in a situation where you might want to revisit taking a look at the business or the products? I remember one of the MVPs in my downline, she said that her sponsor, her eventual sponsor, kept doing this every couple of months, dripping on her. And finally she said, you know what? Yes, let's have a serious conversation about that. So that's where you're going to see these little arrows take you back up to remind you, if they say no, I want you to use that every single time. If they say that there's nothing else that they need to know before they get started, then you say, sounds like you're ready to get started. Now, I don't want you to say, hey, I'll call you tomorrow. Let's chat again on Friday. I want you to get them started right then and right now. You get them started, you open up their account, you order their products, and it moves forward. Do not put things on hold. I always have to kick consultants underneath the table. So I'm hoping that this has helped you tonight to be more bold, to know what to say, to know what to do, to have better results in your sponsoring. Let me see if there's anything that I could answer for the chat. Just quick to finish up. Someone says, thanks, Dina. I think we should do a sponsoring blitz. I totally agree. Let's see. People do not have to try the products. I cannot tell you how many times I have signed up people without having them try the products. So I'll post this flow chart. It will also be on our website. I'm hoping this helps you. And remember that, yes.
Ann Cullum is a great example of someone who did not need to try the product. And a lot of the people on this call tonight are in Armonk because of Ann.
That's right. And they didn't need to try the product. You know, Tracy Tillman, a VP in our downline, she was always sending out products to people that she had talked to from LinkedIn. And I said, no, Tracy, you're not going to do that anymore. And she started signing up people from what I was on a call with and signing them up right then without them ever trying the product. And they came in and went on to be districts and areas in your team over the last year to 2 years. So I want you to just be more bold, and because you're looking for decisive people. So thank you so much for joining us. Remember that we have a DM orientation. So if you're a DM and you've never been on a call for an orientation, or you're brand new and you are, please stay on right now because we're going to start the DM orientation. I also want you to know that we have a social media call that we're doing tomorrow morning at 12 noon. We did it at 12 noon so that if you're working, you can be on. We're going to really, over the next months, really go into some amazing training from Fraser Brooks on
Dina, is
Instagram.
that 12 noon Eastern time?
12 noon Eastern time.
So, okay.
Yeah, 12 noon Eastern. And so if you're at work, you can jump off and jump on for a few, half hour to 45 minutes with us. But we're going to go into training on Instagram. Amazing training from Fraser Works on Instagram. Brilliant training. and just amazing training on how to build a business, how to build your business on also on Facebook. So just if you'd like to join us, of course, there'll be we're going to be on the same number, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. And for those of you that are DM that want to stay on, we'll start that right now.
Thank you, Tina.
Thanks, Gina. Great training.